All right, let's dive into one of the most epic stories of destruction and survival ever told. We're talking about the Great Flood from Genesis chapter 7. We're going to look at the timeline and just the unbelievable scale of an event that, according to the text, literally reshaped the entire world. Everything really hinges on this one final command to a man named Noah. With this single instruction, a world-altering cataclysm is officially set in motion. So, this final command, it comes with a very strict deadline. This isn't just a casual suggestion. It's a 7-day countdown to the end of the world as everyone knows it. And who is the man at the very center of all this? Well, the text tells us Noah was 600 years old. Right away, that detail establishes that we're dealing with a time and a reality that is, very, very different from our own. Now, the instructions for saving all this life were super specific. Noah was told to bring 2 distinct categories of animals, 7 pairs of every approved or clean animal, and then just 1 pair of all the others. And this distinction, it was absolutely crucial for what was supposed to happen after the flood. And the warning itself is spelled out with, terrifying clarity. There's a 7-day grace period, and it's followed by a storm that will last for 40 days and 40 nights. The clock is officially ticking. So, with that warning hanging in the air, the next phase begins. You have to picture this, a kind of frantic yet totally orderly procession to get every single designated living creature safely onto the ark. So, who exactly was saved? The text is very specific here. It wasn't some huge group, just Noah and his wife, their 3 sons, and their sons' wives. That's it. 8 people in total, and they're tasked with repopulating the entire planet. No pressure, right? I mean, can you just picture this procession? Every kind of animal, from the biggest beast to the tiniest creature, just walking onto the ark in pairs, a male and a female exactly as commanded. And then we get this incredibly powerful, definitive moment. The door isn't shut by Noah from the inside. No, it's sealed from the outside. This is that moment of final separation. This is the point of no return. With that door sealed, the 7-day countdown hits 0, and the cataclysm begins. Here's the thing you might not remember. The water doesn't just come from one place. This timeline really shows how it all went down. On day 0, Noah gets the final command. Exactly 7 days later, the flood begins. The rain pours for 40 days, finally stopping on day 47. But even after the rain stops, the floodwaters completely dominate the planet, covering everything for a full 150 days. See, the text describes the water coming from 2 sources at the same time. It wasn't just rain. It says all the underground waters erupted, which suggests some kind of massive geological upheaval combined with these crazy torrents from the sky. This was a truly global event. And that rainfall was just relentless. For 40 straight days and 40 nights, it never stopped. And with each passing day, the waters just rose higher and higher and higher. Okay, so this brings us to the ultimate consequence of the deluge. The water level rises to a point that is almost impossible for us to even wrap our heads around. To help us understand this scale, the text gives this one incredible detail. The water didn't just reach the mountains, it rose more than 22 feet above the highest peaks. This wasn't a local flood. This was total planetary submersion. The result of this is stated in the most direct and stark terms possible. There's no ambiguity here. Every single living thing on dry land was wiped out. The finality of it all is just absolute. The source text really drives the point home. Every person, every animal, every bird on land, all wiped out. The sole exception was that one tiny community floating on a world made of water. And it's so important to remember this part. Even after the rain stopped, the world stayed a global ocean. For a staggering 150 days, the water covered everything. That's the true duration of the cataclysm. Which leaves us with this one staggering thought. When the waters finally do recede, the entire population of the world is just 8 people, surrounded by a handful of animals, floating in a completely remade world. And that brings us to the ultimate question, doesn't it? How do you even begin again?